All right, we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing by ones, tens, and 100s. And specifically, we're going to be looking for some patterns that might occur. So I have some examples. We're going to look at 21 multiplied by 1, by 10, by 100, and then divided by 1, 10, and 100 to see if we can see some patterns. So I am going to get out my calculator just so that we all know that these are correct. Now, I'm not going to put 21 times 1 into my calculator because 21 times 1, anything multiplied by 1 is just itself. So 21 times 1, it's 21. 21 times 10, so we have 210. We have 21 tens. So that's 210. 21 times 100 is 2,100. So we can put in a decimal there to show what's happening. It's getting bigger. We're adding a 0 every time. So when we multiplied by 1, no 0, nothing changed, nothing happened. When we multiplied by 10, we added a 0 to the right side of that 1. When we multiplied by 100, we added 2 zeros for the 2 zeros in 100. So our decimal is moving this way when we're multiplying. Now we could keep going. 21 times 1,000. Look at, we've added another 0. We can see that over here on the right side, 2,100, we've added another 0. Now let's go the other way. 21 divided by 1. We get 21. So that doesn't change when you multiply or divide by 1. Our answer does not change. Now what happens when we do 21 divided by 10? 2.1. So now the decimal went from after the 1 to between the 2 and the 1. Let's do 21 divided by 100. Now we get 0.21, or 21 hundredths. So now the decimal is before the 2. We're thinking about the ways with which that has changed. Now we can keep going. 21 divided by 1,000, and we get 0.021. So let's take a look at what's happening here. When we multiplied, our decimal kept moving to the right, and we added a 0. So 21 to 210 to 2,100. When we divided by 10 and by 100, our decimal was moving to the left. Every time we're adding a 0 to the left side, making that number smaller. So if we have, for instance, let's say 3.42, and we want to multiply that by 10. Okay, so looking back up here, our numbers are getting bigger, and our decimal's moving to the right. When it moved when we multiplied by 10, it moved to the right one time. So 3.42, if we're moving the decimal to the right one time, it's going to be between the 4 and the 2. So 34.2 instead of 3.42. Now, let me say these numbers correctly. 3.42 is really 3 and 42 hundredths, because this 2 goes to the hundredths place. Now this one is 34 and 2 tenths, because this 2 is in the tenths place. If I wanted to divide 3 and 42 hundredths by 10, it would go the opposite way. We would move it one place to the left instead. So our decimal would actually be 0 and 342 thousandths. We've moved it from here to there, changing that place value. So if we're talking about ones, tens, thousands, multiplying or dividing, we move it however many zeros we have. So 10, we move it once. 100, we move it twice. If it was 1,000, we would move the decimal 3 times. If we're multiplying, we move it to the right. Dividing, move it to the left. So there's a little trick for you when multiplying or dividing by ones, tens, or 100s. And this can be used especially when we're thinking about converting between fractions, decimals, and percentages when we're thinking about the place value there. Hope this strategy helps.